Do you have concerns about the president's health and his mental acuity
No.
at all? None whatsoever.
I had none. Now, granted, I didn't see Joe Biden every single day, but I did have an opportunity to interact with the president. I never had a concern. If there's anyone that I am concerned about their mental acuity, it is the current occupant. I don't know if anybody other than black folk are currently running for that seat, but they've decided that they want to go after that seat. They've decided that they want to go after Al Green. They've decided that they want to go after Mark Vesey. And then the last seat belongs to Sylvia Garcia, a Latina. Yeah, that's what they decided to do. But y'all keep trying to convince me they ain't racist. But okay, whatever.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. So we got to talk about a shock poll that really drives home the point that I've been trying to make about how extremists are taking over the Democrat Party, okay? The days for the current Democrat leadership are currently numbered, okay? Because the base of the Democrat Party, they're speaking loudly and clearly that they want Trump deranged progressives to lead the party, right? This is what they want, okay? They're in bed with socialists, communists, and the Democrats who are not on board with the program, right? AKA they're not willing to get shot to try to take down Trump, right? They don't have a place in the party, okay? And this shock poll that we got to talk about here today involving the Texas Senate race for John Corrien's seat, okay? The Republican that is currently holding that seat, he is running for re-election. However, Democrats are going to challenge for that seat. And there's speculation about which Democrat is going to be the nominee, okay? I mean, we don't really know yet exactly who is going to be running, but there was a shock poll that came out showing Jasmine Crockett, the Ghetto Congresswoman from Texas, leading the race. Now, before I get into this poll, I just want to remind people that Democrats rejected Jasmine Crockett recently during a leadership election, okay? She was running for a leadership position in the House Judiciary Committee, and Democrats said, no, you can't be a leader because you're too selfish, right? AKA having you out front is not good for us, right? It's not good for winning over the same people in this country. And I personally believe that's why she was rejected.
Committee ranking member seat. Democrats chose Congressman Robert Garcia. I opened this talking about your constant travel, doing all kind of stuff, traveling the country, raising money, being away from home, all those sort of different things. And then you got folks on Capitol Hill, people in your own party saying, oh, she's not a team player, which is sort of weird if you are going on behalf speaking in people's districts. They're asking you to come in. They're asking you to donate. You've raised a lot of money. You've donated to others. So it had to be upsetting to hear people say you're not a team player. And so what focus now? Because obviously people still want you, media folks always calling you left and right, but that's a hell of a thing to say when your track record says, I've helped a lot of people out with money, time, and energy.
Yeah, I want people to know that, like, I mean, when you're in politics in general, like, I mean, everything is a competition, number one. And number two, you know, somebody's got to lose. I mean, clearly there was only one spot. And so I do want to clear the air on this idea that, like, this is about a win or loss. For me, it's more so just some of the things that were said that were really disheartening in this race, right? And the only thing that I really wanted my colleagues to do is to make an assessment of who could be effective in this moment. And ultimately, if the caucus would have been like, yo, like, person X is like most effective in this moment, then that's one thing, right? It was just kind of some of the other stuff that was being said that was really, really disheartening for me. But at the end of the day, I am still the vice ranking member on oversight. I am still someone who sits on that committee. And so I am going to do what I need to do on oversight. I'm going to do what I need to do on judiciary. And it's just clear that, you know, leadership specifically, because I decided not to push it to the full caucus because of the message that elected and appointed leadership decided to send by the number of votes that, you know, I was given, even though I had more commitments than that going into the leadership meeting. So I said,
AKA they lied to her ass, right? They lied. They told her. They told her, yeah, we gonna vote for you. And then when it came time to actually vote, they said, hell no. Again, the Democrat Party is a party full of snakes and backstabbers. But anyways, let me let her finish. I'm explaining to you guys exactly what's going on here.
Okay, it's cool. Like, y'all sent a message that y'all aren't really open to working with me. And so I read the message loud and clear. And so for me, though, I think about the fact that there's a lot of time that I have missed in the state of Texas in general. And so I'm not going anywhere, but I am going to move a little differently. I think that working with people like my pastor, Pastor Freddie Haynes, or working with Pastor Jamal Bryant, or working with Bishop Jackson, or like there's so many others. I think that I'm going to dig into like what I'm doing specifically with my advocacy and partnering up with those that are in the Black faith community, making sure that they have access to the information that they need. I think that I'm also going to dig in at the state level instead of kind of spreading myself thin, not getting enough rest because I'm constantly on flights. I've got well over 2 million miles because I have kind of been going and going. So, we've got these statewide elections that are going to take place in Texas. And so I think that those candidates can use me across the state of Texas to hopefully get us to some kind of wins. So I'm going to dig in more locally as well as kind of the Black faith community. That's probably where I'm going to expend a lot of my resources and my energy.
Yeah. So again, the reason why Jasmine Crockett was rejected, in my opinion, is because she's not a real team player, right? In the sense that her brand of politics is not good for the Democrat Party at a national level because she has hateful rhetoric, specifically towards white people and Trump supporters, individuals that Democrats actually need in order to win elections, right? And she's not helping Democrats win any elections at a national level. But her brand of politics plays well with the radicals, okay? And coming out here and talking about how much you, don't like white people or white men and Trump supporters, or, have mental issues and things of that nature. Yeah, not good for the Democrats, but good for her, right? Great for her to raise money and to elevate her own personal brand. Not so good for the whole team. And that is why it is terrible news for the Democrats that she is leading the Democrat primary. Okay, according to this poll, she's leading the Democrat primary versus other potential opponents, which again is terrible news for Democrats. Take a look.
Next one is like an unconscious bestie. Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett is defending Biden's former doctor. Of course she is. And some shock now, Republican Party polling shows Crockett is leading Democrats' hypothetical 2026 field by 35 points to run for incumbent Republican John Cornyn's seat. And there's this, Jim. She said this to social media, blaming the administration for the flooding and making the issue in Texas all about her.
The sad part is, I think that my heart is going to carry a level of weight that will continue to weigh me down as we have to continue to do our best to survive an administration that literally is against us.
Not a single word about the victims, the children who perished. It's all about her. Part of her caption for that video gave a shout out to her hairstylist saying, "My staff said, y'all are commenting about my bob. Thank you for orchestrating this look."
Yeah. So again, this is terrible news for Democrats. And again, this is exactly what I was talking about in regards to what is happening to the Democrat Party. The worst case scenario for them, which is that these progressives are going to start winning these primaries because the progressive wing of the Democrat Party is emboldened. They have radicalized their base so much that they want what they feel like are the most anti-Trump, the most deranged, the most radical, progressive, socialist, communist Democrats possible in order to, quote unquote, take down Trump, right? Anything less than that, right? It's just not going to be satisfactory, right? It's not going to be satisfactory for them. And right now, the Republican primary race in Texas is between John Cornyn and Ken Paxton. Does anybody believe that Jasmine Crockett could be either of those two, right? Regardless of who wins, okay? I know there's a lot of people that want Ken Paxton to win. He has Trump's backing. Okay, he appeals to MAGA. You have the establishment GOP senator in John Cornyn. I don't think it matters who wins. I think that seat is going to be a safe red seat if they have to face off against Jasmine Crockett, right? If Jasmine Crockett is their opponent, then that seat is likely going to stay red, right? I just don't see a Texas Senate race where Jasmine Crockett can actually win versus a Republican. I just don't see it, right? Do any of you guys see it? Do any of you guys see it, right? Tell me if I'm wrong, right? Do any of you guys really see Jasmine Crockett beating John Cornyn or Ken Paxton at all? I just don't see it. Not in Texas, right? I hope not. I hope and pray that Texas would not let me down like that. Would not let the rest of America down and the conservative base down like that. I will hope not, okay? So, again, this is worst case scenario. The worst case scenario for Democrats is playing out right now. This is why these people, they're coming out and they're talking about, oh, the primaries are rigged, because they're already preparing, right? They're preparing to take L's, right? And the easiest way for Democrats to take L's is for these progressive lunatics to win these primaries, right? That's the easiest way for them to take an L, some major L's. So again, this is a warning sign for the Democrats, right? This is a warning sign for leadership. You better do something, right? You better do something, or else your party is on the verge of being taken over by lunatics. Having Jasmine Crockett and Zohran Mamdani's as your candidates, right, across the country, I just don't think it's going to play well. I do not think it's going to play well with the general electorate. But hey, we're going to see, right? We are going to see. But hey, let me know what you guys think. I hope that Jasmine Crockett seeks revenge against Democrats because they didn't put her in a leadership position, and she proves that she can win. She can win a general election, right, in a state like Texas. So I hope that she takes up the challenge, right? I hope that she proves to Democrats, tries to prove to Democrats that she has what it takes, right, to lead this fight against Trump, right? Go ahead and run for that Senate seat, Jasmine Crockett. Go ahead and do it, okay? Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.